it's time to admit it. It was all wrong, man. This should be a note to self for people who listen to people during the pre-draft interview process. Everything that they've said about Shedeur Sanders is looking like it's false. We're going to come back and explain why. It's confusing to me to hear all of these random things come out in the pre-draft process. And then when you get an opportunity to see the guy actually play and be around him and hear the media talk to him, it's an exact opposite of what the narrative was. We'll dissect it, get into it, and we'll tell you about why that's a problem right here on the Ultimate Browns. Welcome to the fastest 30 minutes in all of sports. It's your boy G Bush back again with another episode of the Ultimate Browns. We got a great show planned for you. We ain't gonna waste no time. Mini camp is here. It's not OTAs. It's not rookie camp. And yes, it counts. We'll come back and talk about that later on in this episode. And we'll get to the reps. What's going on with the reps? We see Flacco with not that many reps. What is Dylan Gabriel getting the reps for? What is Kenny Pickett getting reps for? I'll do a deep dive into what I think is going on with these reps. And why, if you're a Shedeur Sanders fan, you shouldn't worry about it too much. But first and foremost, I got to get to this. You know, during the pre-draft interview process, if you've been watching the Barbershop way back when, go back and watch some of my other episodes. I've been doing the Barbershop for a very long time on Saturday. And one of the episodes that I talked about was back in the day, Todd McShay, he floated an idea out there about there were unnamed, unknown guys that were in the interviewing process, not head coaches who are familiar with the process, who said Shedeur Sanders was arrogant, he was cocky, came in unprepared, boom, 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 boom. That basically snowballed into a bunch of other things, and that kind of stuck with him. As a matter of fact, it not only stuck with him, it went from place to place to place to place, eventually ended up getting prank called, all that good stuff. I don't want to hold too deep on that, because this is not the point of this blog. The point of this blog is to talk about what we should be careful of, because it happens all too often, and I don't think people are proactive about it. The first thing I don't agree with, and frankly, I think it's ridiculous, and I'm gonna just stand on business. First and foremost, I represent me, G Bush. These are my quotes. These is what I'm saying, and this is what I'm standing on. The situation right now with Shedeur Sanders, the first thing that I take issue with is that somehow we shouldn't be talking about him so much. I find that funny. Because the people who keep sitting here talking about why we talking about him so much is the exact same people that's benefiting from talking about him so much. You listen, go look around YouTube, go look around the internet. Views and everything somebody say about this dude is up, whether it's negative, in between. Let's keep it a buck. Let's just be real about it. Don't sit up there. Why do we have to talk about this guy? But yet you still running all the way to the bank. We ain't stupid, bro. No, I ain't saying we. I'm not dumb. I don't want to be misconstrued. This is G Bush talking for G Bush. And one of the things that I'm looking at is also, why would you believe people that believe that he was a second-round pick, or at worst, bottom of the second? Why would you not think people are excited about him at this pick and be talking about him? Because if you wanted him there, you think he's a future franchise quarterback. And the last time I checked, quarterbacks move the needle. Why are you talking about why we got to talk about him? You don't. Here's what you can do. Go talk about the left defensive end and see how many views you get. See, this is you again, G Bush, making way too much noise. If you want to talk about the left tackle, DeJuan Jones, that's great. I like DeJuan Jones too. But if you want to talk about the backup left tackle, or the safety that we don't have right now, or who's going to play opposite of Denzel Ward, and what does Stefanski's playbook look like, have at it. Roll that ball out there and see how many views you get. Because the reality of this situation is sometimes you have to admit it. The only story moving right now that's moving the needle is Shedeur Sanders, and rightfully so. Not because it's made up, not because we're pandering, not because we want to make things up. It's because the guy has a good skill set. He's been dominating since day one. Let's go ahead and bring this back. Listen, because don't nobody listen to G. Bush. Don't nobody listen to G. Bush. They got to wait for Zach Jackson to start talking. Oh, G. Bush, G's kind of emotional, so we'll wait on what G says, and we'll push that. That could be some. Listen, first of all, if you don't put G or my name, put some respect on it too. G stands for knowing the game. G stands for feet on the ground. What are you talking about? We've been on this train. So you can wait for the validation. But here's the thing. I'm not going to wait to play the middle of the ground and wait till something happens. Then I'll say, oh, well, I guess Shedeur Sanders is pretty good now. That's not how I move. You know what I do? I watch it. I look at it. I make my own decisions. And then I say, he's good. I believe he's good. And I've been doing that for 30 years. I was doing it when I was playing. I was doing it when I was too young to play. I was doing it after college, in college, on the field, off the field. I've been doing that. So what I'm talking about and what I'm putting down right now is this. I'm disappointed that everybody has to see something multiple times in a row before they can believe it. And I'm not talking about whether Shedeur Sanders is going to be All-American or All-Pro, or going to be a future franchise quarterback, which I think he can be. But let me tell you what I'm talking about in terms of I didn't like. How can you take the word of anonymous people, believe it, over what you saw? You took the words of anonymous people you've never talked to, never heard of, never seen anywhere, never met in person, no correspondence via email, text, or nothing. We don't have no words from them. But you took that word from a third-party source and made it gospel. In what world is that cool? I don't get down like that. Because I know how the game works. There's too much stuff going on out there. Maybe somebody wants you to fall to them. Maybe somebody wishes you could get to them at a certain draft. Maybe somebody is throwing salt in the game. Listen, at this point, in this world, in our crazy world, believing third-party anonymous sources on face value is kind of reckless. But I get it. This is what we have to do. This is our game. But the reality of the situation is, when you see Shedeur Sanders, and he was at minicamp speaking, he's sharp. Somebody asked, what do you think about your father and what's going on with his health? He said, listen, I'm worried about being the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. Okay. What do you think? What do you think you need to work on the most? What have you got better at? I got stronger spiritually. I'm learning that God gonna put me in certain positions, and I'll be talking to him a lot more. Okay. What do you learn from Joe Flacco? I love Joe Flacco. I can sit back there and learn, get an opportunity to learn everything and soak up the knowledge from everybody in that room. What about Dylan Gabriel? Oh, listen, the people on the outside be trying to put us together. We know what it is. We teammates inside the locker room, everything good. You can't tell me one quote that's been out of pocket. Can't tell me one sign that he's lazy, ain't been there. Kevin Stefanski told you, first guy in. I see Shedeur, you're going to get to love him. He's in here early every week. After practice, you get the film. Hey, Shedeur's out here throwing the ball late, staying with other guys, getting acclimated, flipping the ball up. He's on mic with Joe Flacco, laughing and joking. Hey, man, you know how to dance? He said, Joe Flacco, I ain't danced since I ain't never had no dance, celebration dance. That doesn't sound like somebody who's cocky, arrogant, doesn't have the respect from his teammates. First week he got here, what did he do? Go talk to kids at a school? Anytime you asking about other people, what do he say? I ain't about that. I'm out here learning. What do you think you've done well? I got to get better. I had a couple throws that I missed that was off target. What do you think about the outside nose? I listen, I got way too much time. I'm staying in my hotel. It's a nice hotel too. So all of the, he came in with headphones and he was disrespectful. And I just got done doing a national interview the other day. And they say, how is the circus coming along? I said, what circus? Shedeur Sanders ain't said nothing. I barely know he was there if they wouldn't put a microphone in front of his face. That's manufactured by us on the outside. Got nothing to do with him. That circus stuff, that circus energy, when people say circus, that's talking about us. Me, people like me with these microphones on. And they try to act like they don't like the circus. Like the circus is, well, I would rather be talking to them. No, you wouldn't. Again, if you don't want to talk about Shedeur Sanders because you're tired of it, be my guest. Talk about the third string tight end. Talk about the fullback. Go ahead and talk about the free safety position that they got 6 guys and guys are going to come compete for. Why would you? To me, the way people talk, I don't understand it. I try to get it, but here's the thing. I come from a place where I played. I'm just going to say it. And when I come from a place where I say and I'm playing, I totally honestly don't understand some things people say. Why would you not be excited about a guy who could potentially be practicing and playing to be a starting quarterback that you got in the 5th round? Why would you not want to talk about OTAs? For every Cleveland Browns media member, everyone, let me just bring it in here. Come on in. When the Cleveland Browns do anything, that's your job. I don't care if it's at a bowling alley. The list of people that's talking about that they don't care or this is all for nothing. So what makes us different? What makes us different from the people that got regular jobs every single day that can afford to fast forward to the regular season and into the the preseason games? Because that's what you do as a civilian. You can fast forward. I don't care. Yeah, wake me up when it's August or September. They can do that. You can't. So why are we perpetrating this stuff as if this is what it's about? No, our job is to give what we've seen on the field and to rally people and to give them interest level in the team. It's a lot of weird behavior going on where it's like, I kind of want to be excited about it, but I don't because Vegas says we're going to win 4 games, so I shouldn't be excited. Bro, that's not what it's about. Every single person that come out there is competing, putting a career on the line. You could get hurt in one of these practices and be done. But for some reason, for a team that is not very good, that are looking for new names, new faces, new places, we keep talking about every time we got to preface something that we don't like. Oh, well, I don't want to talk about that. Oh, it's just this. It's just that. It's just this. Listen, if you want to do that, swap somebody out. I think this job is great. Tag somebody else in that want to be excited. Tag somebody else in that want to talk about what's going on in the field. Maybe a competition or two. Tag somebody in. I could come on here all the time. I do 3 Browns blogs, 3 of them. Man, it don't even really matter like that. I'm just waiting to see what's going on in preseason games, man. Shoot. When you talk about these rookies, man, this is trash, bro. We might as well go ahead and do. Says who? Says who? It's a team that goes from worst to first every single year. What's the difference between you and the Washington Commanders? Oh, you're calling so-and-so Jaden Daniels. You're calling Shedeur Jaden Daniels. Bro, wasn't nobody in Washington thinking they was going to nobody's playoffs when they got Jaden Daniels. I did a blog on that too. I got multiple people saying that Jaden Daniels was not good. Multiple. My point is this. When are we going to stop waiting for somebody else to tell us how to feel? When are you going to stop? When are you going to stop trying to shame people into saying, okay, we're not going to say we like Shedeur Sanders until he throws for 5,000 yards and wins 2 Super Bowls, then we'll come around. Bro, that's not fandom. That's not what this is about. Since when has this become who's ever the most mediocre or the medium or the guy that plays the middle or the level-headed one or the person that just sits there and says everything is 50-50. It's this side and that side. I could see both ways. No, say something and stand on it. But the one thing I will say is this. All that stuff that you was hearing about this dude is patently false. Proof's in the pudding. Because you telling me everything that I've seen since he was like, 12 years old, ain't never been to jail, ain't never put his hands on nobody, never had no issue with no women, didn't have no, he ain't bankrupt, he ain't cheating, he not cheating on his test, he ain't got traffic tickets, he ain't got none of that. All I see here on the ground when people keep asking me to do these interviews is, what's going on? Is Shedeur, how's this? I said, bro, it's very plain and boring. All he's doing is coming out here and balling. And it ain't close. You see that pass he threw the other day? I was off for 2 days. You lucky I was off 2 days. Touchdown, Browns. That 50, 60-yard bomb he threw. It wasn't on the goal line either. It wasn't with no. There was no defensive backs around G. Bush. I see him throw the rock right over the linebacker's head. Receiver right here. Give me that money. Touchdown, Browns. And if you don't like it, click off the video. Because that's what it was. That's what he continues the ball. He continues the ball. Hey, listen. Hey, by the way, we made them put the numbers out, by the way. You know it. They weren't putting no numbers out till I said, listen, y'all might want to stop lying about these numbers. Then the numbers came out, remember? Remember? By the way, I said no names. I want nobody getting ruffled feathers. No names did I say. This is all G. Bush and what he's talking about. And right now, I'm going to tell you what. I think Pickett and Gabriel, they actually battling. They getting them first team reps. But they're not battling for the first team. We'll explain when we get back. It's your boy G. Bush right here on the Ultimate Browns. The NBA playoffs are in full swing and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. Which players are showing up in the biggest moments, and how could tracking their trends help you build your next big bet? What would it look like to combine live prop bets mid-game based on how action unfolds? How could a $200 bonus in bonus bets add to the excitement if your first $5 bet hits? New to FanDuel? It's a perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com/UCSS and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Welcome back to the fastest 30 minutes in all of sports. It's your boy G. Bush solo. We ain't got nothing, no, we just talking today. You got to hear what I'm getting into. Let's kick this knowledge right now. Everybody keeps saying, G. Bush, why is Shedeur getting them first team reps? He should be getting them first team reps, dog. He's been, first and foremost, he's been the best quarterback he can. Now look, Joe Flacco ain't had many opportunities. It was a whole day I saw he didn't throw the ball at all. Here's my theory on the situation. They already know who's starting in the number 2 is. They already know. Joe Flacco and Shedeur Sanders is already locked up. You're missing the boat, people. You're missing the boat. Your boy, Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel, oh, they're fighting for the third position. They're going to give them every opportunity to exhaust every nook and cranny for one of those guys to prove who's going to be the third quarterback. If you don't want to put it on me, put it on Zach Jackson. I'll show his name because he stands on it. Y'all believe him more than you believe me. Maybe I'm too emotional sometimes. I ain't mad at it. Right is right, wrong is wrong. As long as I'm on the winning side of the equation, which I believe so to be true. Zach Jackson said, there is a 0 chance that he sees Dillon Gabriel as a starting quarterback in the NFL. 0. I didn't even put it at 0. I at least gave him 25%. Don't get mad at the messenger. Let me tell you this. Shedeur has already made throws in camp that none of them have made. Shedeur has already made types of connections with his teammates already. Go listen to Greg Newsome. Go listen to what they got to say about it. Right now, it's Dillon Gabriel and Kenny Pickett trying to figure it out. Now, here's the disturbing part. If Kenny Pickett is a veteran, and no one is saying, man, Kenny Pickett is destroying it out there, wouldn't that be alarming? If you are a backup on the Philadelphia Eagles and you have a Super Bowl ring, and you're a former first-round pick who played for a good organization in the Pittsburgh Steelers, why would you not be 20 or 25, 4 touchdowns against the ones? Mind you, all the ones ain't even out there. All them linebackers, they ain't even out there like that. Why would you not be 12 or 15, 3 touchdowns, no picks? The question I got is, why is there? See, it goes both ways. The pendulum swings both ways. If Shedeur ain't looking good because it's just the threes and he's doing whatever the case is with the threes, then does that not mean that because Kenny Pickett is with the ones, he's supposed to be balling too? Ain't that a boost? Don't you get a boost if you got Jerry Jeudy? Don't you get a boost if you got the starting O-line? Don't you get a little boost if you got Njoku? So why ain't you cooking? Actually, to be truthful, it's very clear to me. You notice I'm not even getting on Dillon Gabriel because he's a rookie, right? But they want to exhaust all things and say, okay, well, let me see what Dillon Gabriel talking about. Let me see what Dillon talking about. If Dillon Gabriel is even close to Pickett with the ones, it's a wrap. Kenny Pickett does not need to be on the squad. Y'all picking up what I'm putting out? Put it in the comment section. Don't listen. Here's another thing. When you in these videos, don't just sit here and pull up and say, G. Bush, you're a clown. You're a clown. No, I need to know why I'm a clown. Just pull your points out. That's how we do it. Y'all need to start testing these dudes. If you disagree, I ain't got no problem with no discourse. But at least give me some supporting details. So you don't just be going to ESPN and just listening at what people saying. Oh, I like him, I'm listening. I don't care if you like me. You ain't got to listen to me all the time. But it makes too much sense to me. Say I'm lying. If Dillon Gabriel, if Flacco then got set to the side, go ahead over here, Joe. Sit down. That's why it never made no sense to me. How you gonna say that Flacco? What? Flacco is the get out of jail free card. But listen, y'all don't understand how the politics be working. Yeah, and this is why when I be trying to tell y'all certain things, they be like, "Oh, here he goes into politics." Politics ain't got anything but to do with who you voted. Political nature is to figure out how we gonna move and how we supposed to kick it. Don't you think Flacco buys you at least 5 games with goodwill. Just because it's Flacco, just because he was here before, and just because he understands the playbook and Stefanski like him. He has built-in cachet. Kenny Pickett, on the other hand, we'll wait till we get to him last. Dillon Gabriel, to me, Dillon Gabriel was supposed to be we are out of the Shedeur Sanders sweepstakes. We are going to take Dillon Gabriel. We're going to say that may be our guy of the future, and we'll play it out. Maybe he gets in a few games or so. Maybe shows something. If so, great. If not, whatever, because we got picks for next year. Where everything got spooky was, and we know it. We know what it is. Somebody in that that front office, namely Mr. Haslam, said, nope. I got a stadium I need to fill up. We need some goodwill. Let me go ahead and take Shedeur over there. We'll get Shedeur off your plate. Guess what happened? Now you have Shedeur Sanders, right? So you can't, now you're like, dang. I can't just throw Shedeur over Dillon Gabriel like that. Dillon was first. They make us look stupid. Now you make it look like an extra reach. Because if we put Shedeur over Dillon Gabriel right now, you're going to say, well, why did you do that to start with? Why didn't you just draft him to start with? But then the question arises, well, we kind of had to do that because we tried to be cool and slick. We wanted to signify that we was not in for it. But guess what? The owner overruled us, and guess what? Now he's on the roster. But when you got him on the roster, you found out, oh, he a ball player. Oh, he throwing it like that? That's how he do it? He putting the ball, you know what? He had the nerve to be early today. Yeah, coach, he been early every other day, too. You see how he answered that question? He didn't even talk about Colorado. He said nothing about Prime in 4 weeks since we drafted him. Okay. Note to self. So you're not cutting Shedeur Sanders at all. Matter of fact, nobody in your fan base would suggest that. And you're not going to cut Dillon Gabriel, because if you cut Dillon Gabriel, trade Dillon Gabriel, then what? Signifies that you guys aren't on the same page because you kind of took him early. So that leaves the odd man out. Kenny Pickett, who played in Pittsburgh, was a backup. He has 1 year on his deal. He doesn't have a track record of being a guy who's some mentor. He throws 15 picks to 14 interceptions, 15 touchdowns to 14 picks. He's not super efficient. Talk about Shedeur ain't no athlete. He's not crazy athletic. And on top of that, he has no more money on his deal. If he balls out this year, they had to give him a long-term deal and re-sign him. We know that's not going to happen. They got Flacco for that. So to me, I wouldn't worry about the reps so far because they're doing what they needed to do. Hey, Shedeur, get your reps behind closed doors. Media members can't ask no questions. We can't get all super excited and hyped up about it and say, if he don't win 7, 8, 9 games, because that's the next thing that's coming. If Shedeur Sanders was starting from the get-go, we'd be talking about today, how many games does he need to win in order for him to keep his job, because there's another quarterback, quote-unquote, Arch Manning, coming out in this next year draft. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. See, I done ruffled too many feathers. You were supposed to not say Arch Manning's name, but we know what you're going for. Let's just be honest here. Getting way too old. Let's be honest about what's going on. Be honest with we're getting a little older. Let's go ahead and call a spade a spade. That is what's happening, and that's why I wouldn't even be worried. He don't need to get no reps right now. To be truthful, I wouldn't even trip. If he was, like I said, I think Flacco gonna trip. But here's how the pecking order I see going: Flacco, Shedeur Sanders, Dillon Gabriel, and Kenny Pickett's the odd man out. What do you say? Put it in the comment section. Let me know. When we get back, we'll talk about more minicamp, and we'll talk something besides quarterbacks. We'll get to running back room, some other places that I'm interested in seeing, and we'll put a bow on this. This is G. Bush right here on The Ultimate Browns. Ever check your banking account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. When I started using Monarch Money, I realized that I had so much bad spending habits on food deliveries, and now I can budget smarter and save more. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONNFL at monarchmoney.com for 50% off of your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDON for half off your first year. Welcome back to the fastest 30 minutes in all of sports. It's your boy G. Bush right here on the Ultimate Browns, bringing that flavor. Don't forget, coming up on Saturday, make sure you check us out. The Barbershop will be right back in the building, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on UCSS, as well as on Barbershop as well. We've been talking about minicamp. We've been talking a lot about quarterbacks. Let's get to the other positions. Minicamp overview. I see Deontay Johnson want to show up. Clap, 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 clap. Deontay Johnson showed up. Actually, was down there with the threes playing with Shedeur. They was playing, got a couple catches or whatever down there. And Deontay Johnson is going to have to be a big part of what they're doing. He was a little mum on what happened before. Frankly, I could care less what happened with Baltimore. Frankly, I could care less what happened with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The way I look at it now, I'm a little jaded when it comes to people saying, oh, this guy's a bad apple, this guy's a good apple, because guess what? I seen one of the best apples of all time, pause, your boy Nick Chubb just not be offered a contract and move to the Houston Texans. To me, I look at it like this, man. No more am I going to be in my feelings talking about who's good and who's bad and who needs to go, who needs to be more the moral police. I'm not doing no more moral police, because what this is a game. This might as well be the same game that I play, like that's Street Fighter or Madden or NCAA or NBA 2K. This is a game. This is entertainment. Because one of the things that we get to our camp overview is the fact that Nick Chubb's not here. And I don't quite get it. I don't understand it. Like, I get you like Jerome Ford, but no way I would take Jerome Ford over Nick Chubb. And certainly, here's what I'm saying as a Cleveland Browns fan and as a person who's watched the Cleveland Browns my entire life. I got one team. No disrespect to nobody else who got multiple teams. I got one team. I don't root for you dudes. I got the same allegiance. I went to McKinley. I root for them. Canton McKinley. Shout out to them. Shout out to Harold Fanning Jr. You know what it is. I went to Ohio University. I root for the Bobcats. Buckeyes is cool. I root for the Bobcats. And I root for the Cleveland Browns. That's it. So the Cleveland Browns, to me, should have done right by Nick Chubb, and Nick Chubb should have retired as a Cleveland Brown. There's no way, and you know what, that the Cleveland Browns should have not have gave in. And you know what? They got the money. They're not up against the cap. They could have made it happen. For certain people, you make it happen. For certain guys that gave to your community or gave to your organization, you make it happen. That's what it is. And if he was a Pittsburgh Steeler, he'd still be there. If he was a Baltimore Raven, he'd still be here. Those individuals make sure they take care of their people and they don't go nowhere. For me, I have a problem with it because Nick Chubb hurried back. He rushed himself back. And he wanted to be out there in a terrible season last year that turned out to be a nothingness. And I told people over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? Oh, Nick Chubb is just so inspirational. He'll come back and get 1,000. Nick Chubb he was never going to do that. And I told people over and over again. I said, I had 3 knee surgeries. The same CLs he broke, I did too. And let me tell you by my experience what it is. I did blogs about it. But then again, because I say it with emotion, people don't listen to it. Maybe I got to just say it like this, and maybe people stop. We knew Nick Chubb was not going to come back 100%. And because you had such high expectation, because everybody thought he was coming back to save the world, he was coming back to save the Browns, he was going to come back. No, he didn't. He did what 99.9% of running backs who tore their knee up 1,000 times have done. Come back, not look like themselves, and get back to it the next year. 2 years after injury is when it happens. The Cleveland Browns, they decided to let him walk. In the scheme of things, if Quinshon Judkins has 1,200 yards, nobody will care. If Dylan Sampson looks like he's explosive and gives you something as well, and he has 700 yards and has some explosive runs, nobody will care. But the one thing it's done to me is when I do my takes, I've already told people, do not come at me about no character stuff. I don't care. To me, listen, my question to you is, did they go to jail? All right, well, listen, if he did something really bad, the judicial system will take care of it. All right, cool. Because here's the thing. For as much as we talked about Deshaun Watson, for as much as we got on him about Deshaun Watson, and as much as we talked to people about all of the stuff that people do, young guys on and again, off the floor, all that good stuff, Nick Chubb was one of the best human beings ever to walk the face of the Browns locker room. And they couldn't afford to pay him a couple pennies on a dollar to see him retire in pride with the team he always said he wanted to retire for. You couldn't make that happen. So trust me, if it's a business, it's all the way a business with G. Bush. I don't care what they do. Yeah, you ain't about to see me on no TV talking about, oh, these guys and these young dudes and the league's moral and character. All Nick Chubb did was run the ball hard, turn around, and hand the ball to the referee. And because you thought you can squeeze 35 more yards out of Jerome Ford, you let him walk. Well, look. All right, well, you just taught me it's all way of business. So if you want to get somebody out of jail and put them on the team, if the government allows it, go ahead. Don't get mad at me. Don't say, G. Bush, why you covering? I didn't cover for nobody. Don't be mad at me. Exhibit A. This is what they told you. So I ain't about to go crazy over it. With that being said, let's get to Quinshon Judkins. I do think he'll be the bell cow back. I do want to see Dylan Sampson play a lot. I do want to see Harold Fanning Jr. be an H-back, a tight end, a fullback, creeping out in the backfield. Got all Swiss Army knife. And if you can't find 2 or 3 receivers, hey, we're just gonna have to run. We're gonna have to find creative ways to get these running backs and tight ends involved. Cedric Tillman, I don't know what's going on. He was on the sideline again. It's a make or break for you, dog. It's a make or break for you. You don't listen. They drafted 2 tight ends. Don't be mad when they come out with that heavy tight end package and you may not be out there. I'm just saying, you gotta get it together, bro. They're begging you to get it together. Begging you. They ain't got nothing else. Jamari Thrash, you want a couple dollars? You can get some money. Calling all receivers. Is Donovan Peoples-Jones retired yet? I think he did. Does Hollywood Higgins want to come on out of retirement? We can throw you a couple screens, Hollywood. Your speed wasn't always what it was. That wasn't your strong suit. But for the rest of y'all, come on, man. DeJuan Jones looked like he was. Let me give a round of applause for the people that look like they're ready to go. And I'm going to clap it up for him. DeJuan Jones looks like he's ready to go. Joe Flacco came in ready to go. Don't even need the reps. Quinshon Judkins looks like a bell cow back right now. Jerry Jeudy, ready. Denzel Ward has been dominating. I like it. JTS or JST. What is his name? JSC? Yeah. And from Tampa Bay. Heard you was making a couple plays the other day. Okay. I like it so far. I like it so far from those guys. But we're looking for more. We're looking for the other guys to take some positions. We need receivers, linebackers. We need a free safety. we need some guys to come up and keep it pushing, right? With that being said, we just try to give you the all facts, no chasers, man. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Don't forget, Barbershop's coming up 9/11 on Saturday. Stop playing around. You never know when G. Bush is going to pop up, radio, television, internet. But if you want a fresh cut on sports, keep the Clippers with me. Have a great rest of your evening. Go Browns.